Hey everybody, my name is Subi and I am an embroidery artist. And today we're going to work on something really cool. We're going to use a huge hoop that goes with Ragnar, which is my brother PR1000E. It's a huge hoop and you have to have a huge design to fit in there. We're going to work on the machine. We're going to split the design, but first I'm going to show you how to set it up. Now the first thing we do, I wanted to say that you can split a design in any software and it'll work just fine. PE Design, I happen to have it and it happens to work fantastic for working on huge split designs. You can still do it in other ones. This one with PE Design, you can use your snowman and basically everything's done for you. So it's easier than easy. It's super easy. So let's go ahead and bring in our design. Okay, so I found my design. Let's go back. Let's open it and save changes. No, because I did it wrong, but that's okay. And give this guy a minute to open because you know it's huge. It holds everything. Wow, look at that design. Can you imagine? That is a huge design. Now, in PE Design, it doesn't look anything special. It just looks like a, split hoop. The magic happens when you send it to your brother machine. So let's change our camera view. Let's go to the machine and I'm going to show you how it works. This is from Stitch Delight and we are going to be working on a huge, monstrous hoop. It is for Ragnar, which you guys have heard me reference already, Ragnar. And he is an entrepreneur pro E with all the added extras on it. And we are going to go forth with the biggest hoop that he has to offer. And this is it. This is the 14 by 14 hoop, which is huge. Now, I've already hooped everything. I'm going to explain everything that we're doing. I did find this a little bit fiddly because it's so big. We're not really used to the size and you think, oh, hey, that's going to be easy. And it's not really. It is a bit fiddly. It's not that hard, but there's a few things you got to watch for. Okay, so first of all, the material that I'm using is called lame, and it's Lame, and I usually say lame because I think it's funny. It's lame material, and it's kind of thin, and it's kind of almost plasticky. It has a nice effect when we're done. It looks kind of weird here, but you have to be careful hooping it. And then I'm using just some batting, and then I just have a little bit of cutaway. And I hooped everything, making sure there's at least, a good inch over each side of everything, because we want it to hold. This is going to be stitching for a long time, and we don't want anything to slip. Now, the other thing, when you have larger hoops, there's 2 screws on each side, if you can see that properly. There's a screw on each side. You have to make sure that the screws are tightened or loosened about the same amount. Can you see that okay? Let's see, right there. So you don't want one being all the way in and one being all the way out. You want to have the, tension almost exactly the same. You don't have to count. You don't have to be that precise, but you don't want one open and one closed. So kind of like adjust one, then adjust another, then adjust it to get it just about right. And I'd like to point out with this hoop, in the corners, it's nice and tight because remember, this is a really large hoop. When you go here, it's easily moved. So the tension isn't tight along here. It's just tighter in the corners, which is fine. Make sure all 3 pieces are hooped. One of the struggles that I had was I kept hooping it and I had it over. And then I realized I had to tighten everything up and I'm like, okay, why is this happening? And it's because this had slipped and it wasn't in the hoop. So I basically had to loosen everything and do it all over again. Basically, it's double of this hoop that you're used to using. It is, but it isn't. So just so you know this, I want to explain it really well so you guys can understand. It's basically this hoop plus a second one put together. So you have to split this. It will not stitch this whole thing. It'll stitch half, you take it out, turn it around, and it'll stitch the other half. That is the only way that this works. So you do have a 14 by 14 space, but it's not going to start here and stitch the whole thing out and do a piece here and do a piece here. It is split in half. You just hoop it once instead of repositioning the hoop. So it's hooped once and stitched twice is going to be the rule with this guy. So just remember that you do have 14 by 14 space here, but it is 2 hoops and you do have to split using this hoop. And if you're not doing something quite this big, I would make it fit on a regular sized hoop like this one that's 2 of, because it's hard. It's hard. So let's get this one on our machine. I'm just going to loosen my screws just a little bit. I know I have a loose screw, and we know this is the biggest hoop, so it is going to go to the biggest. Make sure everything's tightened up. And I always make sure that my B here, can you see that? Yes. The B is facing up so I know which way I'm going. The only other thing you guys are going to need for this is a snowman sticker, which we're going to have one ready. So if you notice on this one, when I did the hooping and put it on the machine, it doesn't go all the way to the end. See if you notice that it doesn't go all the way to the end, and that's how you know that it's not the full hoop. It's not going to stitch 14 by 14. So just by the way the hoop's designed, this is designed for the second time around to go up there. So if you're trying to shove it in, it's not going any further than this here. So just remember that it's 2 hoops in one. So you hoop once, stitch twice. Now for the technology of this, you can use different software. I know Hatch is a really good one to split the design for the hoop that you want. It'd be really easy to do. But if you want everything done for you, PE Design is specially made for this part. It's basically the same, but you get to use your snowman and it's a smidgen easier. We'll go through multi-hooping with other programs, but I'm just going to start off easy and we're going to do this one. Now, if you can see right here, this is the design I sent. There's 2 colors on it. I'm only going to use one, but there's 2 colors on it. And when you touch it, look what it automatically does. So it knows you're using a hoop that needs to be split, and it has split it for you, which I think is really cool. Easy to use. So all you do is select one side, and I don't know how much of the detail you can see. I can't get too much closer. Stunning. So we're going to set it. We're just going to do the top. And let's go to set. It takes a minute. Just remember it's a little bit slower. I'm kind of telling myself that. Edit, because I hit it twice by accident. I think I want everything black. You can also use this if you want to. I just use my fingernails because I got long fingernails. And I want black. And I think I want the outside. Maybe we could do it a really dark green. I've got a really dark green on here. I'm wondering if that would look really good for the designs. What the heck, let's do it all black. I think that'll look good on the material we chose. I don't know what green and gold's gonna look like. So I set up all the color. You can change it however you want. Edit end. Remember, let your machine think a little bit. So let's go to sewing and see how long this half is going to be. 71 minutes. Alrighty, it's going to go for a long time. So why don't we let that stitch? And when it's done the first half, I'll come back in part 2 and I'll show you how it works. Thanks everyone for watching. Make sure you subscribe to our channel because you want to find out how to switch the hoop over and how easy it is. And make sure you put on reminders so you don't miss any of our videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.